Meron po tayong kasabihan na bago mo pansinin ang muta ng kapwa mo, tingnan mo ang sarili mo at baka mas malaki pa ang muta mo. Alam na po natin lahat ang ginawang meltdown ni Amy Marcos sa rally ng INC na nakakapagtaka naman. Di ba ang alam natin, peaceful, orderly, for transparency, for accountability, and anti-corruption yung rally ng INC. Bakit pinayagan magsalita si Rodante Marcoleta at si Amy Marcos ng mga paninira? Well, alam nga naman hindi alam ng iglesia kung ano ang magiging topic ni Amy Marcos. Kaya ang tanong ko, bakit nila pinayagan si Amy Marcos na manira? Totoo man o hindi, paninira pa rin po yun. Dahil kung totoo yung sinasabi niya, personal matter po yan. Pwede nilang pag-usapang pamilya. Pero ang ginawa ni Amy Marcos, ginawa niyang big spectacle dahil sadya niyang siniraan ang kanyang kapatid. Tanong nga ngayon ng marami sa ating kababayan, kanino niyo ihahambing si Amy Marcos? Kay Cain, na kapatid ni Abel? O kay Judas, na nagtraidor sa ating Panginoong Hesus? Anyway, kaya ako po nasabi yung pagpansin sa muta ng may muta, abay mukhang hindi naman pala ganun kalinis itong si Amy Marcos. Matapos niyang ibulgar ng wala namang ebidensya na gawain ng mga DDS. Tatak DDS. Magpakalat kayo ng intriga kahit na walang ebidensya, paniniwalaan tayo ng mga tao. So, akala mo si Amy Marcos, napakalinis. May kumakalat po na post. Ito po ay footnote galing sa librong Waltzing with the Dictator. Anyway, nakalagay po dito sa footnote, Amy, who had attended a Catholic high school in Monterey, California, enrolled at Princeton in 1973, generating a minor controversy about the presence of gun-toting security guards on campus. Oo nga naman, medyo mababahala naman yung mga estudyante sa campus ng Catholic high school na to dahil meron ba naman bodyguards? Sa bagay, kung hindi nila kilala si Amy din, na anak ng presidente ng Pilipinas, mangangamba nga sila. Pero ito po ang matindi dyan. Though her record was satisfactory, she was never graduated. And her father thought she got mixed up in drugs. So, sino ba yung father na yon? Hindi ba si Apo Lakay? So, kung sinasabi ni Amy na alam ng kanyang ama ang pagiging durugista ni Bongbong Marcos, then, alam din ni Apo Lakay that Amy Marcos got mixed up in drugs, malamang doon sa Catholic high school na yun, sa Princeton. Well, ito po ay hindi haka-haka. Ito po ay nakasulat sa librong Waltzing with a Dictator. So, kung naging addict pala si Bongbong Marcos noong mga panahon na yon, addict din pala si Amy. Pero tulad nga ng sinabi ko sa past video ko, mga bata pa sila eh. At marami po sa kabataan nung araw, ang in one way or the other ay nasangkot or gumamit or tumikim ng illegal na droga. At mukhang sa sinabi ni Apo Lakay, kahit na si Amy was mixed up with drugs. Pero hindi pa po yan. Ito po ang mas matindi. Kung si Amy ay nasangkot din sa issue ng droga, pati pala sa EJK ay may kinasangkotang issue si Amy Marcos. Matapos ng speech ni Amy Marcos accusing her brother of drug abuse, at hindi lang si Bongbong Marcos, the whole family, kasama daw yung asawang si Lisa Marcos at yung tatlong mga anak. Alam nyo naman, ang mga tagapagtanggol ni President Bongbong Marcos, hindi papayag na palalagpasin nila itong ginawa ni Amy Marcos. So, hinukay nila yung mga kalansay o yung mga skeletons in the closet ni Amy, at isa na nga itong lumabas nung mismong sinabi ng kanyang ama that she was caught in drugs. So sa kakahalungkat ng mga tagapagtanggol ni President Bongbong Marcos, lumitaw po ang pangalang Archimedes Trajano. So ako nga napatanong sino tong si Archimedes Trajano at ano ang kaugnayan niya kay Amy Marcos? So syempre research tayo. Mahirap po na magbintang tayo nang wala tayong ebidensya o resibo. So ito, hinanap ko sa Wikipedia ang pangalan ni Archimedes Trajano at ito po ang aking natuklasan. Archimedes Archie Francisco Trajano born in 1956 and died in 1977, was a Filipino student activist during the 1972 to 1986 martial law regime in the Philippines. His death in 1977 has been linked to Amy Marcos, the daughter of the Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos, who was president at the time. On Wednesday, August 31, 1977, Trajano attended the open forum held at the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila, where 21-year-old Amy Marcos, the eldest daughter of then-President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was the speaker. During the forum, Trajano, who was also 21 years old at the time, questioned the appointment of Amy as the national chairman of the Kabataang Barangay. Tanong niya, must the Kabataang Barangay be headed by the president's daughter? She would not have gotten the position if she weren't the daughter of the president, which allegedly irritated Amy Marcos. Trajano was forcibly thrown out of the open forum and was subsequently blindfolded and then beaten by her bodyguards. The forum was where he was last seen alive. On September 2, 1977, Trajano was found dead, with signs of beating and apparent torture, and his body and face severely mangled. His mother, Agapita Francisco Trajano, recalls, he was covered in a white sheet, lying on a table, and when I opened the sheet, I saw him black and blue. As almost all media outlets at the time were controlled by the government, Trajano's death was not reported in local newspapers. An article released in an issue of the Bulletin Today the day after his death simply talked of deaths in college campuses due to hazings conducted by fraternities. So nung time na yon, August 31, 1977, umattend si Trajano ng isang open forum sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila kung saan ang speaker ay si Amy Marcos. Nainis si Amy Marcos dahil kinwestiyon ni Trajano kung bakit siya ang ginawang chair ng Kabataang Barangay at hindi naman siya mapupunta sa pwestong yon kung hindi siya anak ng presidente. So yun na nga, nairita itong si Amy Marcos. Sa pilitan, inilabas si Trajano. At sabi nga rito, he was blindfolded and beaten by her bodyguards. At yung forum na yon ang huling lugar kung saan nakitang buhay si Trajano. 2 days after, on September 2, 1977, nakita ang kanyang patay na katawan na may senyales ng pagbugbog, torture at yung kanyang muka severely mangled. Halos hindi na makilala? Pero nung time na yon, pinalabas na namatay si Trajano dahil sa hazing. Dahil nung time na yon, usong-uso ang hazing sa mga paaralan. Tuloy ko, 9 years after Trajano's death and a month after Marcos was ousted from power and exiled, on March 20, 1986, Agapita Trajano was able to file a case against Amy Marcos and Fabian Ver, who was chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines back then in Hawaii. Amy Marcos admitted in court knowledge of Trajano's fate but claimed it was, quote, none of her business, unquote. Marcos and Ver were charged with false imprisonment, kidnapping, wrongful death, and the deprivation of rights for Archimedes Trajano. Amy Marcos defended herself by claiming immunity under the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. This act exempts foreign agents from prosecution. However, the court denied her arguments for 2 reasons. 1, the crime was committed beyond the scope of her official work and duties, and 2, she did not act upon the authority of the government but acted on her own authority. Ultimately, the Hawaiian court ruled in Trajano's favor. Their decision stated, judgment was entered based on the court's findings that Trajano was tortured and his death was caused by Marcos Manotoc. The court concluded that this violation of fundamental human rights constitutes a tort in violation of the law of nations under 28 U.S.C. 1350 and awarded damages of $4.16 million and attorney's fees pursuant to Philippine law. So, pumabor yung desisyon ng korte kay Trajano. Dahil sinasabi rito that Amy Marcos acted on her own authority. However, Trajano was not able to receive the payment from Marcos because the Philippine Supreme Court barred the decision. The Trajanos attempted to collect the money by filing a case in the Pasig Regional Trial Court. The court summoned Marcos, but she did not appear. The court subsequently ruled in favor of the Trajanos by default. Afterwards, Amy Marcos filed a case to the Supreme Court stating that the summons on her was invalid. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Nasangkot si Amy Marcos sa EJK, although hindi pa po uso yung tawag na EJK o yung extrajudicial killings. So, pwede ba nating sabihin na kaya pala kampante si Amy Marcos sa piling ni Digong at ng mga Duterte ay dahil may kinasangkutan siyang EJK? So, pagpalagay na natin na totoo na drug addict si President Bongbong Marcos, although kahit na ang PIDEA sinabi na wala ang pangalan ni Bongbong Marcos and never na nasama ang pangalan ni Bongbong Marcos sa listahan ng PIDEA. Ito pa lang si Amy Marcos, may issue ng EJK. Ngayon, matanong ko kayo, sino ang mas pipiliin ninyo? Ang presidente na kung totoo na nakatikim ng illegal na droga nung kanyang kabataan o itong kapatid na hindi lang sa droga nasangkot kundi sa EJK, sa kaso ng pagpatay. So sana, bago tayo pumuna ng muta ng iba, tingnan nyo muna ang muta ninyo o baka mas malaki pa ang muta ninyo to the point na hindi na kayo makakita ng katotohanan. Kayo po, ano ang masasabi ninyo? Comment lang po down below and I will see you in my next video. Diyos ti Agnina.